Awesome. So, Maureen, glad to have you here. We're going to talk to everyone about the 10 no-brainer things that VAs can do for you, as you'll see on the first slide, because we all know that virtual assistants are amazing, but sometimes there's a bit of lead time in getting support, but these are things that can, you can hit the ground running.
Yeah, and they're things that are really maybe not so obvious, but once we share them with you, we'll go, oh, yeah, that'd be great to get some help around that.
Yeah, and Maureen, I just realised they came in the same top as on the front, so I'm all set. I need some more clothes anyway.
Coordination, Carmen, coordination.
Oh yes, it was all planned. And so yeah, we're going to run through the 10 things, and so this is helpful whether you have got a VA already, because you can get them, acting on these things really fast. Or if you're thinking of getting a VA, these are some things to consider getting support around. So Maureen, as you'll see on the next slide, the first thing virtual assistants can do is unsubscribe you from mailing lists. I don't know about you, Maureen, but I get excited about something for a period of time, just say it's all about mobility, and then my whole inbox has people trying to sell me mobility programs. What's your current thing at the moment, Maureen?
Yeah. So obviously, Jonathan, one of our amazing VAs, has gone through my inbox and unsubscribed. But I've just realised, Carmen, that it's probably been about 12 months ago where since I've got him in to actually go through and actively do it. And it just adds up. There's people that you might connect with on LinkedIn who will, start sending you stuff, and random people where you want them to either unsubscribe for you or set up rules so they go into another box. So that every time I enter my email, those things, I'm not being distracted by those things.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. And one of the good ways of getting your team member to unsubscribe for you is actually for them to go into your inbox and go through and write a list of everything you're currently subscribed to. So then they can go, Carmen, this is on the unsubscribed list. Do you want to keep any of these or forever hold your peace? And then I just say, get rid of them except for these two. I want to keep these. And so that's a really efficient way just to clean up your inbox. And Maureen was just sharing about how you can put things in, get your team member put things into folders as well. I think that's what you have. The Jetstar goes into a folder and all your travel things, doesn't it, Maureen?
Yeah. So there's things where I'm a bit of a hoarder, although I think that's a bit of too strong a word, Carmen. A collector, shall we? A collector. I don't like to let things go. Boyfriends and emails, no. And so what happens is, because I don't like to let them go, and actually I have a physical reaction to, unsubscribing for these things, because, one day I might, really want to have a look at what Kogan is selling, who wants to sell to me. I might need it one day. I can get the VA to just put them in a folder. So I've got one folder that says, socials, which is all the, reminders and stuff from social media, from Facebook, etc. And then there's one called reference material. So that's stuff where I can go in at a later date. I might be sitting on a Saturday morning and go, I wouldn't mind just seeing, what stuff's come in. But I'm actively going in there to look at it. And it's really well organised, and I know what folder I'm going into. And therefore, I'm not being distracted when I come into work to look at the latest, new device that I can buy from Kogan.
So there you have it. The first thing virtual assistants can do for you is unsubscribe you from mailing lists, or if you're a hoarder like Maureen, put them in folders for you, or a combination of both.
A collector, Carmen, collector.
Collector. Okay, so as you'll see on the next slide, the second thing virtual assistants can do for you really quickly is help you follow up from people that you meet at networking events. So we all know that when we go to networking events, we meet people and we're like, oh yeah, Maureen, she's a pretty cool chick. I might stay connected to her. And then you just don't. So it's about finding ways to systemize that, find the good people in your network and find ways to keep in contact with them. And so you'll see on the next slide, there's a very simple script that you can use to go, hey, Maureen or Bob, I really enjoyed meeting you at, this networking event, it'd be great to stay connected. So you could email them or you can LinkedIn them, but it's just a way to stay connected. What are your thoughts, Maureen?
I think this is one of your areas of genius, Carmen, where like it's one of the things where I'd go, oh yeah, you know, that's a good idea, but I wouldn't actually implement it. Or I would have tried to implement it myself. So Carmen is really good at that. At this, she's set up a system with the team, so the team automatically do it. What I want to say, Carmen, is obviously pre-COVID times are mainly face-to-face networking, but these days a lot of it is online. And just because it's online, it doesn't mean that it's any less important or useful, those contacts. So it's a really great way to connect. So Carmen, what is the value of connecting longer term, do you think?
Yeah. So someone asked on Facebook the other day, what are your networking tips? And I said, retargeting. And they're like, what do you mean retargeting? Because people often think of retargeting as in paid ads. So what retargeting is when you've like met someone or someone's been touched by you, in a business sense, that is, it's about continuing to remind them that you exist and continuing to, touch them. And so you can do that through, fancy ways through paid ads, but you can also do it through other mechanisms. So if I met Bob at the networking event and then I send him a connection message on LinkedIn, and then I write to him and go, hey, Bob, here's our latest newsletter you might be interested in. And then if I connect with him on Facebook or other ways, Bob, and then I invite him to my business group on Facebook, Bob's gonna, start to see me everywhere. And so that's how you can continue those relationships, and Bob can keep up to date with what you're up to, and then know to reach out to you if he wants to become a client or has a referral for you or thinks there might be some opportunities for you to work together.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, because relationships are built over time, and this is what it's about, a bit about exposure, and metaphorical touch, shall we say. So I think it's really important, and it's really, really valuable to be able to do that. So far, Carmen, we've got number one, unsubscribe from mailing lists, is one of the no-brainer tasks that a VA can do for you. And the second one is connect with people that you meet at networking events.
Yes.
And so what's number three, Carmen?
So you'll see on the third slide, it's about making your words of wisdom look great on social media. So we're big fans of social media, where the team put us all over it, and there's some sophisticated stuff you can do, fancy video editing and all that stuff, but a really quick win is to identify something that you say all the time. So Maureen, what's one of your short phrases that you just say all the time to people?
One of the best questions you can ever ask anyone is, what's the most important thing?
There you go. And so Maureen can say that verbally or type it to the team, and they can grab that, and then they can grab a picture of Maureen where she's looking particularly nice that day and make it look beautiful on Canva, and then post it on social media. And so Maureen can go manic one day and come up with like 20 sayings that she says all the time and send it to the team. And then they can create those posts. Sure, you want to augment it with other posts on social media, videos and all sorts of stuff, but it's a really quick way to once again touch all those people that are connected with you on social media, including Bob, who you met earlier, is going to start seeing those things.
Yeah.
And so it's a really great way where you put in like a small amount of work. Like you could probably do it in 5 minutes, just give your VA 10 things that you say all the time, and then they can make them look beautiful and distribute them. So even if you're not feeling creative one day, that's fine, because you've already got other pieces of content ready to go.
Yeah. And the thing around it is, I got to share, Carmen, sometimes I'd go, like it's not quite, it's not groundbreaking enough, or it's not the most quotable quote of all time. But the thing is, it's not just about the quote. It's really about the fact that the people are subliminally seeing you on social media without even realizing it.
Which people will see on the next slide.
Oh, is that
We've
what
got
it
some
is?
examples here of where the team's done it. You know, there's a little quote from Maureen or I. They put a picture there, made it look good. People are going to be reminded that we exist, and whether it's the most profound quote or not, like you said, Maureen, it matters less.
Yeah, and I like initiative as a start of something. Oh, it's a little bit thought provoking. Good one, Carmen. And yeah, and a lot of times, it doesn't have to be wonder words, but it's a quick way, it's a quick win, so that when people are scrolling, they will notice you,
Yeah.
whether they
So,
like it or not.
woohoo. And so the fourth thing, the like no-brainer thing that virtual assistants can do for you on social media is delete those messages of people trying to like sell you things in a non-skilled way, or spam you, or all those people who do want to crush onto you and say, hey, gorgeous. And so I hear people all the time bang on about, oh, social media, people try and sell things to me and I don't like it and whatever. But you know what, Maureen, I never see these messages, because Jonathan, he just filters them all.
Yeah, exactly. So I think people need to get over it a little bit. It's the way of the future. You are going to get spammed. Just the way in the olden days you used to get junk mail you didn't want, and eventually you could get a junk mail thing on your letterbox, and still a little bit got through. Well, if you actually have a virtual assistant, they can be the sign on the letterbox for you. They can, take it away for you, so you're not really being exposed to it. But it's all around, and you're going to receive it. So number one, get used to it, and number two, find a way to get rid of it. And a virtual assistant is a great way to do that.
Yeah, so you'll see on the next page, next slide, and I'm sure people have seen these things before in their inboxes, but examples of things that our virtual assistants have been deleted that we haven't even seen. So you'll see that on the next slide. And you know what, Maureen, if someone does sneak through the Jonathan filter, our wonderful VA that filters all this stuff for us, I look at the copy and I take note. I'm like, oh, that's pretty clever. And so I actually rejoice if someone's written copy good enough to get through the Jonathan filter.
Yeah. And sometimes he'll write to me saying, Maureen, I'm just not sure about this one. So we'll check in. So that's the other thing too. You've got an amazing human there, and a talented, intelligent VA who is, if you're scared, or maybe they might get rid of messages that, aren't spam or whatever it is, they just usually check in with you. If they're not sure, if the person's written a really clever message or whatever it is, then they just touch base, and you can say, no, actually that is someone I know, or no, that's spam. So yeah, some of these messages are pretty good.
These are the bad ones. But anyway, so the fifth thing, no-brainer thing that virtual assistants can do for you is send a video message to people on their birthday. Now, this is about, once again, touching the people you're connected to, touching Bob, who you met the other month at the networking event. And it's about spreading some love. Whether Bob means you're front of mind to Bob, or potential clients, or potential referrers as well. So we get a lot of referrers from social media, even some that we've never even met before, because they keep on seeing us. And so you'll see on the next slide, we've got some examples of video messages we've sent, and some, what I think are, some really engaging responses. We've got one woman who sent a video message back to me, and then we've got people going, wow, Carmen, thanks. I'm definitely not growing up too much, maybe even feeling younger. And, it can actually start a conversation. What have your experiences been with the video messages, Maureen?
Well, remember one day in Cobram a couple of years ago, Carmen, when we started it, I sang Happy Birthday in French. And then this year, I think, when I changed it over, because obviously you have to change it every 12 months, but you're only doing it once, obviously, in 12 months. And I got the kids involved. So, we lit some candles. Well, it happened to be one of the kids' birthdays, I think. So I said, while we're here, let's do it. Let's use your cake, okay? And we'll light the candles. Come on. It's for the people on LinkedIn. So the kids joined in, and it was a lot of fun. How can you not appreciate it? Even if people know that intellectually you're sending it, it's not a personalized video, it is a personalized message, because the VA will attach the video, but also write, often write the person's name or whatever. Or even if they don't and you just want them to send the video, it still feels special to receive something like that. It's a little bit like the cards sometimes people send. My mortgage broker sends me one every year, and he just stays in front of my, and I know that it's probably not even him who's done it, but it helps. It's a goodwill gesture, and goodwill gestures are really appreciated.
Yeah. And so you can get your kids to, repurpose their cake for it, or you'll see that on one of my one of the messages I've done, I've just held my phone out there while I'm jumping on the trampoline. So you can, completely be yourself, and it's I think it's quite memorable, and a lot of people write back. So it's a great way to touch people in your network. You can do it on Facebook, Instagram. I'm sure you can do it on Instagram. We're not doing it there, but Facebook, LinkedIn are two places that we're playing with it. So I think that's a great no-brainer thing. Once again, you record one video of you singing happy birthday in French or whatever your thing is, and then you're set for the whole year, and your team member can just do it, and then you can respond to the humorous comments that come back.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is a recap. We've done our top 5 no-brainer tasks your VA can do for you. First one is unsubscribe from all those mailing lists that you found yourself on, whether you realise gone. Number 2, connect with people that you met at networking events, either face-to-face or online. Number 3, make your words of wisdom look great on social media. They can turn it into a great, quote with your picture or a great image there. Number 4, delete messages on your social media trying to sell you stuff, which is spam, which inevitably will happen. Or in Carmen's case, all those sexy men who write messages to her that when she's not
pretty lady, you have a nice smile.
I love your hair. And number 5, send a video message to people for their birthday, which you can send to them on Facebook and LinkedIn, which your VA can do for you. So let's move to number 6. What is the 6th?
So another no-brainer thing that you should get your virtual assistant doing, as you'll see on the next slide, is to help you expand your network. So sure, you can go and meet Bob, and you can get your VA to retarget Bob, but how about you expand your network online as well? And so this is a really quick win, because you can identify on LinkedIn who you want to connect to, what industry they're in, what gender, what size of business, whatever you want, whatever criteria you want. And your virtual assistant can find those people and connect with them. And so what it means is when you connect with the target market on LinkedIn or whatever platform you want to play on, it actually means that then you're able to message those people and, offer them to come to your event, or would you like this book, whatever I can do for you, or whatever it is. And also then preferentially got more likely to see your content on social media. And so, you can continue singing, to the same people, but how about you expand it, and then you can share yourself, your content, your birthday messages, your everything with a larger network of people.
Yeah. There's one of my pet hates, because I really feel for people. They're on LinkedIn and, amazing business people and professionals, and then they'll put a bit of content or something up, and then you look and you go, oh, you've got 100, connections. And so all you need to do is start expanding that for, the possibility of more people seeing your amazing words of wisdom or your content or whatever it is. Really important to connect to more people in your target market, or connect for referrals or whatever. And the other one, this has been a game changer for us, hasn't it, Carmen? They're sending the messages to your contacts. Do you want to share a bit about that?
Yeah. Before that, can I just tease you? Do you know how Maureen used to send messages, expand her network on LinkedIn? She used to find the handsome men.
Just I think she started playing it a little bit. I go
he's a bit handsome. I might connect with him. Anyway, it's a good thing we have the virtual assistants day in, day out connecting with people, independent of how handsome Maureen finds them. And so the other thing is, when you're connecting with people, you can go, oh, I can connect with people. It doesn't take that long. But are you going to do it every day? No. Whereas your virtual assistant can. And so that's also something to consider. And once you're connected to them, you can send them messages. So sending people messages on LinkedIn, your current network, has been a game changer, because Maureen writes these beautiful messages which are really engaging, and we offer them something of value. So, would you like the book, What a VA Can Do For You? Would you like to come to our event? Would you like to come to this really cool speed networking thing we're doing? And so there's always ways you can, once again, touch these people, including Bob, who you met 3 months ago, and say, hey, Bob, do you want to come to this event? And so it draws people closer. And it's also a way that you can get people to volunteer their email address. We don't grab email addresses off LinkedIn like some people do. It's like, well, if you want this book, flick me your email address and we'll send it to you. So it's been a great way to also increase our list. So even if LinkedIn did die in the ass, we've still got these people who are interested in us and in what we do in our CRM.
Yeah. And so to give you some numbers, so for instance, the book What a VA Can Do For You, I wrote that content because it was the most asked question we get. What can a VA do for me? So I wrote a book titled just that. And then we sent out messages saying, hey, would you like a copy? And I think we've got, 3,000 people who said yes. So that's really valuable. And also, but it's also giving. So we're not saying, oh, yes, connect, send spam messages all the time. We probably send a message to people probably once every 3 months, which I don't think is too much. And we might target and go, okay, let's go. We're going for Sydney people at the moment, which aligns with what we're doing in the business. Or we might, target the people in Melbourne or whoever it is.
And then Lawyers Weekly, let's let all the lawyers know.
Yeah, or whatever it is. And so it's just be real careful that it's not this real pushy, salesy, spammy, yucky. Really try and find something that's really valuable. So that's a really good one, Carmen. What's the next one?
So as you'll see on the next slide, the next one is collating all your existing content. So anyone who's been dabbling in social media will probably have their content all in a bit of a mess, saved on this file, saved there, not named properly, all those things. I know we did before our team got a handle of it. And so it's really hard to repurpose content when it's in a mess. And you should be repurposing content, because if you've done content that's awesome, why should you only stick it out once? You should put on different platforms, put on the same platform maybe 6-12 months down the track. And so you'll see on the next slide, our team actually have put together a table. On the next slide, you'll see the table of all the content that we've got. And so there's extra columns, and so they can go through really quickly and identify where it is, has it gone up before, do we want to do it again? So when they're organizing things to reschedule, then it's just all there. And so for me, I just send my raw content in and they beautify it and put it in here and schedule it. And so this is a great one because you've probably already got some really good things. Last year, I was just not feeling that great for about 3 months. I didn't film anything for 3 months. I was just on another planet. And the team just went to this thing and found old content and put it up. No one knew that I was lying on my couch not feeling that good. They just saw me on social media all the time.
Yeah. And that's a great thing about it, is that you've got someone there to organize it for you and help you with it. So a lot of you out there, how many years have you been in business? So I've been in business nearly 20 years, and there's a bit of content over the years. And some of it obviously is no longer relevant, but some of it will be. And so ongoing, you're going to have this really great library where if you end up, going overseas next year for 3 months or doing what other adventures you're going to have, then there's that content there that can be put up. So I think it's really, really valuable to get help with this.
Yeah, beautiful. And so the next no-brainer thing that you could get a virtual assistant doing for you is updating your CRM. Maureen, I speak to so many business owners who say, I've got a CRM, but it's not up to date. And so often what they want support with is to have their virtual assistant update their CRM. So for example, we might have a sales conversation, so we're doing those interactions, and then I just send a small message to the team, and that triggers all these responses, updating the CRM, sending invoices, all sorts of things, so it stays up to date. What are your thoughts on this, Maureen?
Yeah. CRMs are not static, a little bit like websites, so they need to be worked on all the time. But we often treat it as if it's not. And so we put a name in, or we don't. You have a sales call, or you meet someone at the networking, and it doesn't go anywhere. And there's no follow-up because you haven't created the chain of events by putting the person in there in the first place or updating it. So it's really great. Jonathan will often contact me and say, oh, what's happening with this person? Have you had a chance to speak to them? So I'm still giving him the intel, giving the information, but he's holding it all for me, so I don't have to keep it in my brain. And then I can go, oh, yeah, I did. I was going to speak to, John this week. I have. He's not ready for a VA quite yet. Let's touch base with him, but he did want to talk to me in the future, so let's touch base with him in 6 months. And then all the notes are there. Otherwise, I would have spoken to John and then probably not ever contacted him again.
Yeah, and then Jonathan will press magic buttons in the CRM, which will make sure John gets emails every 2 weeks from us with information about virtual assistants. So, it'll be hard for him to forget about us. So you'll see on the next slide, Maureen, is an example of Lani, who's one of the virtual assistants who actually works with a client. So she shares that she plays a lot in the CRM for her client. She emails leads, schedules meetings, follow-ups on meetings, and also like trimming down those prospects from cold or warm or win or loss. So it's about, I often think when you're working through your leads, it is about working out who to call or who to focus on. And so getting support with that can be really helpful.
Yeah. And there's often, not that I'm not judging, Carmen, but we do get a few trade businesses, and the guys just go, look, I don't want to be doing this stuff. It's not my thing. It's not my area of genius, but I know I should be doing it. And it can be, really helpful. Just one text message or one email sent out to someone who you helped a year ago can get you more business. And it can't be done if your CRM isn't updated.
Yeah. So having it up to date, and it takes a bit to keep it up to date. But getting support with that can be really, really helpful. So we're almost there through the 10 things. We're up to number 9. So as you'll see on the next slide, the 9th thing that your virtual assistant can do to support you, like no-brainer things, is to support you on social media. So this is a phrase you do, sprinkle your content like fairy dust all over your social media. I remember when Maureen and I started working with virtual assistants, just personally in our previous business, and I would say to Maureen, oh, did you do that? She'd go, no. Oh, must have been the virtual assistant. Because we'd see things on social media and things just happen. It was like magic.
Magic, yes. And it still is to this day. I just love it. Like, I get notifications on the weekend that you've put something up, Carmen. I'm like, Carmen hasn't put that up. And yeah, they're so amazing and on the ball, and it's so worthwhile. We have all these tools out there to use, and we're just not using them enough because we can't. Imagine how much time do you reckon, Carmen, it'd take a day if you tried to post on all the different platforms and keep up?
Oh, I don't even know, because my head just starts to hurt when I think about it, because it's not just about the time, it's about the headspace and then working out what to put up. So the actual act of posting doesn't take long, but working out that, oh, this was on Facebook 2 weeks ago, so now I'm going to stick it on here. Or this was on this Facebook group, and now it's going to go on your personal page. And now it's like, I can't even, it makes me feel sick, Maureen.
Yeah. And I like it as opposed to some of the tools out there, the automated stuff. Like, say, for instance, I went on to Facebook yesterday, and then I went on to Insta, And I was seeing the same content from the same people because I'd seen it on Facebook and then I saw it on Instagram. So if you've got a VA handling it for you, you can mix it up a bit more. And even if they do use a tool for some of it, it's still orchestrated much better, I reckon.
Yeah. So we do repurpose content, but you'll often not see the same thing on the same platform on the same day, because I figured, if you see it in 2 weeks' time, that's different. And so you'll see here the team have just popped up examples or like different platforms. And I think we can't underestimate, like you said, the time or the energy it takes to do this. Because if you just think of Facebook, there's your personal page, my personal page. We've got 2 groups. We've got a business page. That's just 5. That's just the organic stuff, let alone the paid ad stuff. That's for one platform. And so, getting your team to use your existing content that you've put all this energy in, that's really valuable and can support people, and keep on putting it out there across all the platforms, ongoing, independent of what you're doing that day, is really, really powerful.
Now, example of this here today that we're creating. So we're having a discussion, just having some banter. Carmen had the ideas. We got a VA to put the slide deck together. She did an amazing job. Shout out to Janelle. And then we're here doing this on StreamYard. Having a bit of fun, having a bit of banter. Now we've got some really good content there, but a lot of people would do all this work and then do nothing with it. So this will, we could potentially, cut this up, or we won't, the team will. They could repurpose it.
The global one.
Yeah, they can, spread it like fairy dust out there onto various platforms. So it's not that you're doing all this work, all this hard work to market your business, and then you don't repurpose it. It's just ridiculous because it's
this is probably going to go in our next newsletter. We might message people on LinkedIn perhaps about it and offer to provide it to them. It's probably go on our website. So it's about really leveraging the time and energy put into something so that more people can see it, more people can get value from it and access to it.
Yeah, well said. Okay.
Awesome.
What number was that?
That was 9. So we're up to 10. Did you want to do a quick recap before we get to 10?
No, I'll do a 10. I'll do a recap at the end.
Awesome. So lucky last, the 10th thing you can do, get your virtual assistant to do, no-brainer thing, is to help juggle the meetings in your calendar. So you'll see here on the right-hand side, that is an example of my day. So I'm an interval trainer in both exercise and also in business. So I have days that look like this, and then I have days which are just blank. And so the team know when they can book meetings in and when they don't. And what it means is by having the team book the meetings in, it means I can really power through my day. So I don't have to go back and forth with organizing meetings. I don't have to do that because the team are going to do it. So if one of my meetings go, oh no, I can't do then, can you do it on Tuesday at 10 or whatever? Like, I don't even have to engage in that conversation. I don't even have to remember that because the team are going to do that for me. And it's not even about the time it takes to go, oh no, I'm available on Thursday at 2. It's that brain space from remembering, oh, have they responded? Have they accepted? And all those things. And I just think this is a no-brainer thing to get support on in your business, because then you can spend all your day, you'll see in that day on that slide, I had some internal meetings, I had some sales meetings, I had a podcast. All the information for the podcast was already in there. I didn't even speak to the person, our virtual assistants organized it all. And I had half an hour to scratch myself, and then day done. Man, I could rest the next day and do no work.
Yeah. And I think it can't be downplayed how much time you spend farting around, changing meetings. People will invariably be well-intentioned, but then they'll send you a message, something's come up, they can't, they've got to go and get their second jab. They can't, they're no longer available. Life and business gets in the way, we understand that. But you have to actually put your head into it, send them an email back, more times, or even if you're using Calendly or something, you're going to send a new link. Prompt them if they haven't booked in again. It can be an absolute nightmare. So really, really encourage you to get someone else to look after your calendar. Even though sometimes, Carmen, isn't it tempting to just go, you're talking to someone, you go, oh, I'll just quickly put it in. But then,
Yeah.
you've got to put the link, you've got to put the information. Like, it's much better to have a system where you're handing it all over.
Yeah, just and so that someone can hold that ball. So Maureen, before I've got a warning to end with, but before we get to my word of warning, could you do a recap for us?
Oh, I'm scared. Okay, so these are 10 no-brainer things that your VA can do for you. Even if you're just starting thinking of getting a VA, or you've already got a VA, here are 10 no-brainer things. Okay, drum roll. Number 1, unsubscribe from your mailing lists. So all that junk mailing, be gone. Number 2, connect with people that you meet at networking events, whether they're online or face-to-face now in the future. Often you'll get all these cards in the old days, or you'll connect online and then you'll say nice things to each other, and you must keep in touch, or you must have a conversation and it doesn't happen. So your VA can help you connect with these people so that they see you all over social media. Number 3 is make your words of wisdom look good on social media. Hey, Carmen, what's one of your words of wisdom?
I can't remember now.
I know. I just did that on purpose. I know our brains work differently, and you'd be going, hold it.
Like something about like you're not aiming for perfection, like action over perfection, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, good save. Good save, Carmen. Good save. So the VAs could make Carmen look pretty, which wouldn't take much. They just, put flowers around it or something and put it up on social media. Okay, number 4, delete messages on your social media trying to come onto you or sell you something. So they can get annoying, but they don't annoy us because we don't even see them, because Jonathan gets rid of them for us. So you too could have somebody amazing getting rid of those messages. That's number 4. 4 no-brainer things that a VA could do for you. Number 5, send a video message to people for their birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Don't have to sing. You can enlist your children. You can be silly like Carmen and jump on the trampoline. You could do any sort of video and be different. Be yourself. Be your brand. And people really enjoy that. Number 6, connect to your target market. And send messages to contacts on LinkedIn. So it is really an untapped world out there. So why not get your virtual assistant to connect to great people who could be strategic alliances or who could be customers? And then when you feel like they've connected for a little while, then you could start sending them messages or offering them something of a value, like my book, What a VA Can Do For You. Or potentially we might put this video out there for people to have the opportunity to grab as well. So that's number 6, Carmen. You ready for number 7?
Number 7.
Collate existing content. So what do you want to say about that, Carmen?
You've probably got lots of good content out there. So it's about collating it so you can repurpose it. It's a waste just to stick something out on one platform once.
Exactly. Well said. Number 8 is to update your CRM. So even if it's small, even if you're just using MailChimp, or maybe you've got, Whizbang Infusionsoft or Keep as it's now called, whatever it is, it's a work in progress, but you're not treating it like that. So get a VA to help you update it, and that way people can stay in your funnel and get the juicy goodness from you. Number 9, sprinkle content like fairy dust all over social media. So you can put it through different platforms. What sort of platforms can they use, Carmen?
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, which is one of my personal favorites. Other ones, YouTube's another one that we play on. So there's some of the main ones. Obviously, there's other platforms. And the beautiful thing about this is if we decide to play on another platform, we can just ask the team to start playing on that platform.
Awesome. And I love the way you say play, because that's what it is. It's just, take the pressure off. If you're out there enough on enough platforms, goodness is going to come your way. Yeah. So that's number 9. And number 10 is juggle the meetings in your calendar. So this is such a time waster for people. to rearrange. You should be able to get up, jump onto your computer, look at the day ahead and have it all sorted for you. Your VA can put in the links, can put a message about what that meeting is about, who the person is, so you've got the full picture. So you don't have to do all that research before getting up and clicking the link to join the meeting. So there you have it, 10 no-brainer things that you'd get a VA to do for you. Now, awesome. Carmen, you were going to scare us.
Yes. Well, my word of warning, as you'll see on the next slide, is that once you get good support from a virtual assistant, it's really addictive. And so people will just keep on coming back for more. So we didn't set out to run a virtual assistant company. I just got one virtual assistant at the start, and now it's grown because so many business owners I speak to are ideas people, and business owners love having ideas and they need support to implement them. And so once you've got that confidence that you can get really good support from a virtual assistant, and you're like, you will wake up with even more ideas. And then when you have an idea and then you get support to implement it, it's like this snowball effect. You're just going to want more and more support. So Maureen, one of the questions I often get asked by people is, do you have lock-in contracts? And the answer is no. We work with people who've got a long-term view, who do want someone to fill a role, not just a project. But we don't have lock-in contracts because we want people to go, this is the best thing that they've ever done in their business. And my personal target is for them to come back within 6 months asking for more support.
Yeah, and it often happens. Because once you start getting these things off your plate, like, messing with your calendar, updating your CRM, playing too much on social media, wasting time or whatever, then it frees up your brain space as a business owner to start implementing more things in your business or spend more time on your sales conversations. Your business is going to grow and then you're going to need more support. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah. So if you dare, maybe you should try a virtual assistant.
Yeah, but I've got a word of warning. If you do want to work with us, the first port of call is to book in with Carmen. Of course, she won't be setting up the meeting, but book in with Carmen. And what I find interesting about this, and I think you will too, is that she's not a pushover. So she's not going to go, yes, John, Mary, one, this is the perfect, solution for you. It might not be. So these, if your business is bringing in money, you have a business model that's working and you're ready for growth, then getting a VA to do these things for you is a really great start. But Carmen will be very upfront with you, won't you, Carmen?
Yes, I'm very pragmatic. And not only does the business need to fulfill those requirements Maureen said, but also you need to commit your time and energy, in addition to money, to making the virtual assistant experience work. And so we'll do everything on our end to support you and to support the virtual assistant. But there are some things that you as a business owner, or you need to delegate to an existing team member, that they need to do to make it work. And so when I speak to business owners, it's really getting to understand them, to manage their expectations about what's possible, to manage their expectations around what it will take to get it to work. Like I said, it is amazing when it works, and it is highly addictive and you'll want more, but we need to set up the conditions right to make it work. And I think probably half the people I speak to, I let them know they're not a good fit, or they're not ready yet, or something that they need to do before they are ready. So I won't lead anyone up a garden path, because it's not good for anyone if someone starts for a month and then stops. This is about long-term relationships, long-term solutions for your business, and really supporting you to grow in a leveraged way.
Yeah. And the thing is, even if you've listened today and you've gone, well, some of those 10 things I want off my plate, but some of them I've already got them off my plate, or it's not a big issue for you. If you have a chat to Carmen, she can go through where you're at with your business. And she's really good at identifying, if you are ready, what things you can get off your plate first, even if they weren't one of those top 10 things today. So I think, if you're feeling it, if you like us, because if you don't, it's probably not a very good fit either.
Yeah, if you don't like dating analogies or whatever,
or being a bit silly, or someone singing happy birthday on a LinkedIn message,
then
and
yeah.
you just really object to it, then we're probably not right for you.
But if you do like how we roll and you are curious, then hit us up. Go to globalteams.com.au. You'll find a bit more about us. You'll find resources and an opportunity to organise a time to have a chat.
Well, it was lovely to share the words of wisdom today and some ideas. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the flip side.
See you later.
Bye. Shall we sing?